Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host, Roman Chavez. With me, as always,
Erik LOVED.
Eric.
What's up, man?
You can find us on the gram at REC Podcast. You can follow myself at Roman REC Podcast. You can follow the shop at REC Comics, or you can come check us out at 7679 North Union Boulevard in Colorado Springs. And you can see the disaster artist wherever you can find him. He'll bring you what he wants you to know and when he wants you to know it. All right, kids? How you doing this week, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good. It's been a couple weeks since we've been able to touch tips and join forces here on camera. And I feel like I haven't seen you forever.
It feels like a minute, right, dude? Yeah.
After
the Molly, I'm sweating, man.
Cop the Molly, I'm sweating. After the the anniversary, man, I've still just kind of mentally wiped. I know what it sounds like, kids, but I was going hard getting ready. So I've just been so lazy here in the shop. Looks like vagrants are living here. It's a whole mess.
I'm not living here.
Yeah, looks like Eric's living here without my knowledge. There's always one ceiling tile off to the right. I can smell the cigarettes and regret coming out of the vents.
Dude, I'm different.
But you are. You know what? You're gonna find your own path, buddy. Okay, that's your journey. Okay.
Just quote Mr. 2 Chainz. Real quick. You know what 2 Chainz? 2 Chainz used to be with Ludacris back in the day.
I did not know that.
You know what his original name was?
Chris.
Close. Titty Boy.
Titty Boy.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't like that.
2 Chainz much better.
Yeah, 2 Chainz much better. It's marketable. Like these guys who you gotta be marketable, kids.
Well, maybe if he went into doing breast exams for cancer. I mean. There's
for the streets,
giving free breast exams.
After every show, they're doing mammograms.
Yeah.
Turns out 2 Chainz is a licensed oncologist.
Yeah. Titty Boy, bringing it.
Yeah, bringing it in. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird place to go. In the couple weeks we've been gone, the DC extended universe. Our last episode was really focusing on that. Mm-hmm. There's still been more and more conflicting reports about things. One day you're hearing they're completely disregarding the Snyderverse, that they're gonna burn it down. They canceled Batgirl. They were talking about not doing a sequel to the Matt Reeves' The Batman.
Mm-hmm. Which the internet went crazy for that.
Because Battinson, he was looking, pretty solid.
Yeah,
It's a fine movie. Mm-hmm. But if we're going to start over, let's do it. I'm here for it. I'm not married to Battinson at all.
Right.
But then, we hear weird things about Ben Affleck coming back for Aquaman as Batman. And no, they're going to go ahead with The Batman Part 2, whatever they're going to call it.
The Fall Out Boy type, foiled, whatever.
Folie à deux.
Yes.
That's happening. So it's very, I guess the only positive thing you can take from it is that there is news,
Right.
And there may be some when there's no news, that's good news, but at least there's traction.
When there's smoke, there's fire.
There is definitely fire. So, we keep talking about it. I'm done exhausting my lungs on it.
Well, did you also hear that they test screened The Flash?
Yes.
To rave reviews, apparently. Which, I mean, I don't know. If they say it is good, as they say it is, do you think this revives Ezra Miller's career?
No.
Okay.
No. He's too much of a liability.
Okay, so even if this is hypothetically a Oscar-worthy Batman or Dark Knight movie, do you think this gets him back into the game? Or do you say, okay, it was a good movie, you go your way, thank you, bye?
It has to be perfect. And then it also, then your sequel then has to be perfect. And then you have to have this guy who can't seem to go long stretches without being in the news for the last 3 years. There's just too many wild variables.
Oh yeah, you just need to get some help. Ezra, for reals. I mean, I'm here for you. Yeah. I liked you as the Flash. Dude, come on.
I thought he was fine. Yeah, I was interested in the weird autistic Flash,
which is great. Would make sense. And just with his Speed Force power, his brain working on different levels.
Sure.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean the Predator species, they were looking to weaponize autism. So
good concept.
Yeah.
Just executed very very badly.
Do you think this is what happens when you get away? Like they caught Ezra Miller and then he got away and it made him super weird? So, yes, the DC universe is ever changing, ever expanding, ever collapsing, ever imploding, ever exploding. It is all things to all people. I guess in October we'll get a Black Adam movie. That's
we are getting that.
We are still getting
We're
that.
going to get that at least.
Man, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like The Rock's soul is bound to this project.
I think
like,
it is, too.
If it doesn't do well, that may be the it of The Rock, too, you know?
No way.
Nah, you don't think?
No. Rock's got way too many franchises going on, dude.
But that's kind of the problem. He's definitely oversaturated. He had 3 movies in 1 year in which he looked like he was wearing the same outfit in all 3 films.
Just walking to a different side.
Yeah, just like, if we shoot all of these together, we're going to save a lot of money, guys.
Just change the green screen projection,
Yes.
and we're good.
So
yeah, because he was Jumanji, the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, Jungle Cruise, and then and I don't even think that was the same ones I'm talking about. Maybe Jungle Cruise, the one where he has one leg, and then there was another one, but like literally he just had like a tan shirt on in all
like
of those
safari
movies.
shirt.
Yeah. Wherever The Rock is, safaris are abound, kids.
Well, it's just a bummer because they want to bring him back for Mania. And he keeps, committing to these crappy movies.
Yeah.
Go back to your roots, Rock. We need you, man. Vince McMahon is gone, thank goodness. Hunter taking over. I know this is not a wrestling podcast, but it ties in.
Dude, there's so many of my customers who come in here and want to talk wrestling with me, and I just shut them down because I don't have it. So maybe when I'm on vacation in October, we'll post that you're going to be here so they can talk wrestling.
So it talks to wrestling. I'm about
there we go.
it.
Yeah, there we go.
I need to get my wrestling fixes. No one watches it.
Yeah.
Except for me and like 3 other people.
Yeah, and you missed out on the con ride because, your boy Dave, he really
loves some wrestling. He kind of started getting into it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
No, he was always into it. It's just you and him could have a lot of different conversations.
I know he's about the Miz. Love the Miz.
Yep. He's a big Rock guy from back when.
Like the Attitude Era?
Yeah, Attitude Era. That's what they call it, you nerds. My particular brand of nerd had a show this week. Episode 1 of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Single female lawyer having lots of sex. I don't feel like you're getting good vibes off of it.
No.
So I guess we'll start with you.
You want to start with me?
Yeah.
This is honestly D+'s worst offering to date, in my opinion. I know we're only 1 episode in.
Okay.
There is nothing here. Your first episode is supposed to set up the premise, give us a kind of not a detailed sketch of the character, but a vague representation of the character. Maybe more than what we already know from the comics. I feel like I know less about her now. Completely, in a weird way, changing her origin story. And there was a way around all of this. And look, I might come off as a bit so chauvinistic right here, but I'm just going to go ahead and say this. The weaker female character having to save the male character in every flippin' scene is getting old.
Yeah.
It's really bugging me. Like that. Okay, mild spoilers here. They're what's her name? Jennifer.
Jennifer, yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer and Bruce are driving down the road, and this is kind of told in a fourth wall break, which is jarring. Doesn't work. I know they did it in the comic books, and she predated the fourth wall break.
Yeah, by a long time.
Yeah, predates Deadpool. And but it doesn't work here, in my opinion. We'll get to that later. But they're driving down the road, talking, giving some backstory. A spaceship appears on the road. They crash, and Bruce is knocked out. He couldn't turn into the Hulk for some reason at this point, but she has to pull Bruce's limp body from the wreckage, and then a little bit of his Hulk AIDS spills into one of her wounds, and then that's just how she becomes She-Hulk. Very lazy, very, very lazy, man.
All right.
Okay, I mean, what? We can keep going, but
we can.
We'll just bounce off each other.
There we go.
So, what do you think of that part? What is your?
My problem with that part is that it's just too quick.
Yes,
it's just too quick.
You have time to develop this character.
Yeah,
and you just a quick what they could have done was have the car accident. Didn't have to be space related.
Yeah,
could have just been on a little side note, I feel like this is kind of what's bothering me about the MCU lately. Is everything is such a end game event. Like every movie is like the world's going to end event. We need to bring it smaller. Bring it back to the street heroes. And this could have just been a normal car accident that could have happened to any of us.
Yeah.
And Bruce had to be there for his cousin and was very unsure about, even though he's like a scientist, he's like, well, this could work because we share the same genetic components, but I don't know if the Hulk DNA. It could have been a very captivating scene.
Yeah.
And they just have it drip into her, and then she's She-Hulk. And she hulks out right then and there and runs off in the woods like some green Sasquatch.
So,
Lazy.
okay, and I'll give you that. It is lazier than we've had in the past. Now, the thing you're forgetting though is, why was that Sakaran ship there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
so
maybe it'll tie in.
It will.
Right.
It will.
I am getting a little hyphy on this.
That's the Grandmaster ship that they got away in.
That's true.
Okay.
So who was piloting it?
So okay, so I like the Easter because it does it in a way that you even kind of forget that it was
Chitauri or
Sakaran ship.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Or Sakaran ship, whatever.
Yeah.
And so he's explaining that he's wearing the thing because his arm was not healing as the Hulk, but it is healing as Bruce.
Right.
So that thing is keeping him in
that kept him
form.
from
Yes. And then it gets damaged, and that's why he ends up hulking out later. And then, but her blood, and I like that. He was like, "Oh no, don't! My blood's,
Hulk AIDS.
My Hulk AIDS are getting into you." Okay. So I don't know. If it had to be quick, at least there's very little fat on that. They did a good job of saying, this is what's happening, this is where I've been, this is why this can happen, but it is kind of quick.
But they also kind of trivialize Bruce a lot in this. They make him like the cuck.
Yeah.
He's like Cuck Hulk now. Because like she like manages to like maintain her feelings within a span of 5 minutes. And Bruce is explaining to her like, this took me 10 years of practicing like breathing techniques and yoga and really trying to find my center as, and that's why we love the Hulk, is because he's been through this pathos.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh no, I got this.
But that's how it was in the comics. She wasn't savage for very long.
Right. But in the comics they explain it's because she's not full Hulk like Hulk is.
Yeah.
She only got a little dose of it.
And
so if they would explain that in here, because she consistently like outmatches him in strength.
No, she's not as strong as he is.
Well, they do that rock throwing contest.
Yeah, and he's way stronger than she is.
No.
He throws it into space. He goes one-handed, and then she two-handed just past his, and then he throws it into space. All right? She did not re-throw it into space.
But still, I mean, it does trivialize Bruce's plight.
But I don't know. That's
it really does. It gives that. See, they do it in a way where it's like, oh, I'm a woman, I'm better.
Yeah.
That's how they're presenting this whole thing. Like, let me explain this. I'm not trying to mansplain anything here. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna femsplain this to you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a scene in there where she's being monitored by Bruce in this cage, right? Do you remember this scene?
Yes.
Okay, and she manages to contain herself, but then she hulks out and breaks the cage. It's like her femininity broke this man's cage, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, man. It sounds beautiful. I do agree with you and most men when we talk about that. Yeah, this whole thing about men can't save the day anymore. Blah blah blah. It is becoming.
It's becoming a cliche. It's a cliche now,
and it's becoming predictable.
Yes.
And that is a very big problem with the girl power movement in the MCU. Is that they're not like, okay, Peggy Carter, Captain America, the first Avenger, the first Cap movie, you see her deal with all of the things that are negative, from the men catcalling her to the being
and
obviously
she doesn't
overlooked.
Beat the crap out of them either. She puts them down.
She puts them down. She does take out Hodge a bit. She does drop him. But you get her power with how she presents herself, how she carries herself.
Sure.
And it works really well, even though you do see the issues that she's going through.
Right.
But it lands, and it lands well. And the thing is, ladies who are listening, we don't like being preached to, just as you don't like being mansplained to.
Right, and I think this show is doing a lot of the femsplaining.
It's doing a bit of it for sure.
I would say a lot.
The only thing that I didn't like is when she compares being a Hulk to being catcalled by men.
Right, which is like, wow, so that is on the level of like saving the universe that the Hulk did. Like,
now, to Tatiana Maslany's credit, I think she played Jen very well.
She's fine. Nothing wrong with the acting.
I'm excited with the courtroom aspect of this.
Well,
and I think that this will be far lower power than we initially thought. Like, I think this was the candy push.
Sure.
Because I don't know if I like the episode so much, which I did, because Bruce is there. It's so much regular Hulk stuff.
This is the problem with the female version of male characters in just in everything. It's like, you know, I always love original characters. That's why for me Natasha Romanoff is such an awesome character. She's not a derivative of any other character. She's just Black Widow. She rocks. Yeah. So the only problem here is that we're getting a similar character, and we're already going to see the same kind of trials that Bruce has gone through. Granted, she's a lawyer, which the one aspect I did love about the show, and I'll give it a lot of props for this, was when Bruce is like, okay, what are you going to do? Become a superhero now? You have to do this. She's like, no, I'm a lawyer. I get paid for this. I'm going to continue to be a lawyer. Yeah. I loved that aspect of it. It was like, oh, that's cool. She's trying to like shy away from being a superhero and trying to actually be a public servant. Yeah. You know, even though she's superpowered, she has to do her battle in the courtroom. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I love that.
I'm looking forward to that. Either the showrunner or one of the head writers was talking about how we're going to get more. We're going to get some more to talk about, like the Sokovia Accords.
Sure.
Which I want to see.
Oh, yeah, of course.
There's different aspects. And we can't forget, we are going to get Matt Murdock. We are going to get...
she'll be a better lawyer than him.
Yeah, but only because he's a guy.
Of course. Yeah.
Sorry.
But to be fair, Matt was an awful lawyer in season 2.
He was, but he was also being a real so-and-so that whole time. He wasn't a very...
he wasn't a good anything. His costume looked good.
His costume did look good. I'm curious if they'll give us why he's wearing the yellow in this, or if they'll wait to his show.
Sure.
Because, side note, lots of rumors talking about that Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Punisher will make appearances. No talk on Iron Fist right now.
He
So,
he did.
Dude, and I think that they'll just go ahead and do the new Asian Iron Fist instead.
Might as well.
No.
You want Danny?
I want Danny, and then because this new Iron Fist, why he's Iron Fist is cool. So let's have Danny.
Have the progression.
Yes, because that's the seeds that bear fruit later always play out better in comics and in stories when we get to that point. In Game of Thrones, when we got the old dragon eggs, we knew we were going to see some dragons at some point, and it was awesome, you know? So, yeah, let's get to where we need to go. But anyway, She-Hulk. I loved my favorite stuff. My absolute favorite stuff was the Bruce Banner stuff. Was knowing that him and Tony had really built this like place for him on this island where he can chill, where he can do research. That bar scene, I thought all of that stuff was really good. That was funny.
There was some decent banter in there.
There was great banter.
But there's a lot of like cringy femme humor in there.
There was tons of cringy.
It's sort of like that kind of friend you have where she's very in the women's lib, you know, and it's just like she tries to make jokes, and you're like,
I think that they played more like brother-sister than cousins.
Yeah.
Like, I would have liked to have seen literally the entire episode of them being, like, hanging out, like, her and Bruce are reconnecting, and then at the end she gets the blood in her. Because then we can get a little bit more of this other stuff.
Of them, like, why they're so close. Why are they, exactly.
Because I get that they're close now, but it was very, very, like I said, brother-sister.
Yeah. Brother-sisters are that close. Yeah. Cousins typically aren't that close. Yes. Love my cousins, but I don't hang out with them on the reg like that. Again, we should show, like, oh, maybe they were both, like, scholastically inclined and they just clicked when they were younger. Sure. That would be awesome. Maybe they went to the same college. Yeah. That would have been awesome.
You know, and, well, she does seem significantly younger than he is in comparison. So, you know, there was just some character building that I would have liked to have seen more of in that moment. But I like the idea of Tony and Steve, like, building this bar together and, like, just being, like, buddies.
Yeah.
And it sucks we're not going to get to see any of that, but it's cool. They did a good job of, like, you felt Bruce's, like, loss of Tony.
Oh, of course. Well, then she kind of trivializes that. Yeah. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Again, just really trivializing my boy Bruce, man.
And
again, the thing is, as much as I love the Hulk, I think he's in it too much already. This is
and I don't think he'll be in it for a while again. I think he'll show up again later because I think that the Sakaran spaceship or
It's
whatever.
got to play a role in this.
It's got to have something going on.
I mean, if it doesn't, then that was just random for random.
Yeah, like
That'll
why use
really
that
piss
ship?
me off.
Yeah, it's not going to be. It'll play off.
And then, well, I mean, the ending of this. I mean, you know, a little spoiler.
Okay,
here.
so
What do
yeah,
you think?
so that was the second worst part. So the first worst part was her comparing being a Hulk to being a woman, being catcalled, and blah blah
Right,
blah blah
which
blah.
Trivializes the horror a lot of women go through.
Sure,
It
yeah.
really does, because you want to equate catcalling to some of the foul stuff friends of mine have gone through.
Yeah.
It's kind of awful. That's kind of insensitive. Not being sarcastic.
It's
it
just
really
like
is.
it's just completely. It pulled you out of the show,
Yeah.
and it's making us talk about something that actually doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So-
Gender politics shouldn't matter. Subtly, it should matter.
Yeah.
But this is a show about a green person punching things
Yes.
in a courtroom. And that's all I want.
So Titania shows up at
Yeah,
the end.
there you go.
And it looked really bad when she did her like air kick. It looked
Yeah.
very much bad
Power
on the
Rangery.
string. Yes, very Power Rangery. But they spent a lot of money on having two Hulks kind
Yeah,
of
I can see
roughhouse a little bit.
why they had to.
Which I liked. I liked all the stuff on the island
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
I loved the humor of whether or not Captain America is a virgin or not. That was really
That was pretty
funny.
I dug that. I
Yeah.
dug that a little bit. I did dig that. That was good.
But then that's kind of inconsistent because she's clearly drunk. Maybe she can get drunk in Gen form, but not in Hulk form. Could be, I don't know. But that stuff was really, really fun. The context of the humor feels a lot like the comic book, especially like what it established in the late '80s,
Right.
and then what in the mid 2000s there was one that was very, very Ally McBeal, single female lawyer type comedy with superpowers.
Yes.
You know, I think they're
Which
gonna.
I want that.
Yeah,
Give me
and I
that.
think we're gonna get that. I
Yeah,
think we're
yeah.
gonna get the Jen's very promiscuous in the comics. There are times where she gets down with the Juggernaut.
Oh, that's right.
You know, because only certain people can
Jugs
take it.
got it,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, he's got the jugs for it. Okay, so
He should be the titty boy.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, old Juggy is what they called him back in the day. So there are. I don't know. I see the branches. I get the cringe part of it,
Yeah.
and it sucks is because I'm watching it with my wife. I'm sure she finds that to be as cringy,
Yeah.
but maybe women don't find that stuff. Maybe they think they're actually making a statement to us. And guys, all we're doing is saying no. Like I want to see
Well, this
She-Hulk
is
be a
just how
strong woman.
the Bible overtly created atheists. This
Yeah.
whole hardcore feminism movement is creating so chauvinist a-holes.
Yes,
That's
yes.
kind of what that's just
One
equating that
hand
for
washes
you.
the other
Yes,
at this
yes.
point. And I have lots of hope for it. Like I said, there was only a couple parts in there that weren't up to snuff for me. I thought She-Hulk looked good.
Yeah, it looked good.
I thought the camaraderie of the two felt really good. It just felt
I mean,
different than I never in the comics got that Bruce and her were close.
Super
like
close.
that.
Like he was just doing that as like, oh, I'm family, gotta do it.
Yeah.
Like if your cousin did have the blood transplant, it's like, okay, it's family.
Yeah.
I got it. This is kind of how I got it with Bruce and her.
And I did like the comic science of, because you're a female and the blood is getting in there, it has different properties with
Right.
you, and it allowed him to synthesize to fix his arm, because then he
Right.
ends up fixing his arm
Yeah, there
through
you go.
that.
Yeah.
So hey, comic science, I love it.
I love the comic science.
I'm all about it.
Yes.
I
I did like that part where he had to say, instead of just like, oh yeah, me and Tony built this place. Yeah, me and Tony Stark built this place.
Yeah.
Why did you
My buddy.
Tony Stark?
Yeah, you guys remember him, right? He was in other movies with us,
He should have broke the fourth wall and said that.
yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna break the fourth wall, go all out, Deadpool style. Not that it takes you. It's just jarring. It's so jarring when she does it. Like I don't.
I'm a
care
Ferris
for it.
Bueller fan. It doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. And I don't want her to do it like Deadpool, because Deadpool needs to do it his way.
Right, I get it. Yeah, absolutely. But it's so just inconsistent in She-Hulk. Yeah, maybe it'll smooth out in later episodes.
Yeah, man,
I'm
only
here
one
for it.
episode
I'm
in.
gonna give it
We're
another
only one
shot.
episode
I'm
in.
hard on it.
You already said it was the worst thing ever.
It is. But I'm gonna see it through.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right. If there's anything Eric is, it's not a quitter.
I'm not a quitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 3
Drugs?
packs a day.
Cigs, women,
Oh, jeez.
men.
Men, just whatever's warm, kids. Whatever's warm. That's our show. If you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that little alarm too, so that you know, or the bell, so you know when we have new content out. What did you think of She-Hulk? Please let us know below. Are you a chauvinistic jerk like Erik, or are you a less chauvinistic jerk like me? Who knows? Who knows? Erik, do you have any final thoughts for us today?
You know, She-Hulk could benefit from that Drake song. Started from the bottom, now at the top.
All right, kids. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Roman Chavez.
I'm still Erik Icarus.
And we will catch you on the next podcast.